All right, at this time, I'd like to call the regularly scheduled City of Taft Planning Commission meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, May 6, 2020. We're meeting in the City Hall Council Chambers at 209 East Kern Street, Taft, California. I'd like to read this into the record. Excuse me. Pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order N-29-20, Taft Planning Commission meetings will be held in the following manner. 1. In order to protect our constituents, city officials, and city staff, all public meetings until further notice will be held closed to the public. Planning Commission meetings will be live streamed in real time to our YouTube channel by searching for City of Taft City Clerk on YouTube or this link https://www.youtube.com/user/City of Taft. Item number 2, public comments for Planning Commission meetings will be accepted in the following manner. 1. Public comments will be accepted up until 3 p.m. the day of the meeting. Written comments may be dropped off at the drop box in front of City Hall. Item 3, comments may be emailed to the city clerk at ymayfield, M-A-Y-F-I-E-L-D, at cityoftaft.org. The fourth is to be made by phone to the city clerk's office at area code 661-763-1222. And the fifth way is the comments received will be read into the record. Item 3. Should a member of the public prefer to speak during the live portion of the meeting, shall contact the city clerk prior to the time listed above and provide a contact phone number. Secondly, be available during the meeting times of 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And thirdly, will be contacted at the phone number provided and placed on a speaker to address the commission during the meeting time. Those are the new rules. The regular meeting is called to order at this time. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Lycan, would you lead us?
Sure. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please bow your heads? Father, we come before you this evening to conduct the business at hand before us on behalf of our fellow citizens. We thank you that you have watched over us and kept us safe during this time. Our hearts and our prayers are with the families who have members of their families and close friends suffering or who have unfortunately passed. Help us be mindful of your presence. Help us to conduct ourselves in a way that's honorable to you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call.
Chairman Horn,
Here.
Vice Chair Livingston,
Here.
Commissioner Banner,
Here.
Commissioner Lycum,
Here.
and Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Looking at your agenda, we're on item 1, citizens request/public comments. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the commission on matters within its jurisdiction. State law prohibits the commission from addressing any issue not previously included on the agenda. Commission may receive, comment, and set the matter for a subsequent meeting. Please limit comments to 5 minutes. We have no one commenting. Is this the time that we have someone that has phoned in a request? No. Okay. That moves us on to item number 2, which is minutes. The minutes that we're requesting we review is from the meeting of March 18th, 2020, which was a special meeting. There's a recommendation that the minutes be approved as submitted. Discussions or motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This is a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. That carries on.
I have to abstain.
One
I
abstain.
was not at the
Oh,
meeting.
one abstention. I'm sorry. Carries on a 4-0. Item number 3 is continued public hearing of the conditional use permit number 2019-14. There's a recommendation from Mr. Staples.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Oren. Unfortunately, we won't be acting on this item as the applicant is still working to get the revisions that were requested of him by the commission, and I'm figuring some of the this lockdown stuff probably is slowing some of those efforts to get the extra visuals that we're looking for. So the recommendation is to have a motion second to continue this item to the next meeting.
Actually, it's still an opportunity to discuss a couple items on it. It's not,
Yes, the public hearing is still open once we bring this back to act on it.
be a good time to make your suggestion, Bob.
On this water tower,
Yeah.
I would suggest we still consider the water tower as being one of the possibilities.
What they have done, not to go down the discussion too much, is that they have done a slight modification to the water tower thus far. It's the other variations that were requested, the typical tree and other variations that are options for cell towers. So that's what they're working on, and that's what's been, I think, is slow going to get done, probably because of this shutdown that we're going through.
Do we know if they're open to the suggestion of scaling the project down in size?
Well, I think they're following, again, not to go too far down the discussion on the project, but that's probably something to discuss at that meeting. I believe they mimicked their project after the one we approved on Supply Row.
And they should have a representative here at that meeting?
Yes, or called in, and we'll make sure we have all the communications up and running for that.
Okay.
Okay, well, I will make a recommendation to continue the public hearing until the next meeting of June 3rd, 2020.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. That carries on a 5-0. Okay, public hearing. Site plan review number 2019, conditional use permit number 2019-25. Mr. Staples.
Thank you again, Chairman Oren. The project before you, as you mentioned, is site plan review number 2019-24 and conditional use permit 2019-25. It's a proposal by Tate Associates and 7-Eleven Inc. Proposing to demolish the existing 6,300 square foot commercial building, which contains a 7-Eleven retail store, and the demolition of a 2-pump gas station canopy, and then to construct a new 4,088 square foot 7-Eleven retail store with new 12-pump gas station canopy on a 1.03 acre site within the general commercial zone district located at 1124 6th Street. The proposed project is located on a fully developed property at the southeast corner of 6th and Finley Drive. The existing surrounding land uses include various retail and restaurant uses in Pilot Plaza Shopping Center to the east and south, the Dairy Delight restaurant to the north across Finley, and vacant properties and commercial buildings to the west across 6th Street. The commercial site has existing driveway access along 6th Street and Finley Drive, which will remain unchanged and not modified for the new portion of the project. Per the Taft Municipal Code, the development of the 7-Eleven retail store requires the site plan review, and then the development of the gas station portion is what requires a conditional use permit. The development of the retail store moves the building from the eastern property line to the southern end of the site. The 7-Eleven building square footage is increasing from being 3,361 square feet in the existing building to the new 4,088 square feet. The new 7-Eleven store will offer the same retail options and services as before, including alcohol sales with their existing Type 20 beer and wine only sales license. The existing 2-pump gas station canopy located near the northwest corner of the property will be expanded to a 12-pump gas station canopy. Per the code, with 12 gas station pumps, the applicant must provide a minimum of 3 electric vehicle charging stations per section 6-12-25, section C5, which is listed as a condition of approval in the attached resolution, and the 3 spaces are shown on the site plan labeled as EV. The proposed architecture for the new 7-Eleven store is a new prototype design. The design is similar to those found in some of the projects we've approved, like the Taco Bell and the car wash and the Best Western Hotel. The main building stucco paint color is labeled as white and gray in the description, but it's seen as a neutral, warm, almost tan type color with some stone wainscoting. There should be some color elevations in the hard copies that you have to see somewhat of a true view of what those colors look like. Taft zoning ordinance chapter 14 identifies retail uses requiring 1 parking space for every 250 square feet of building area. The 4,088 square foot building is required to provide minimum of 17 parking spaces, of which 1 is a handicap van accessible space, which you'll see on the site plan. The proposed project provides all 17 spaces, the 1 handicap, and as mentioned before, the 3 required electric vehicle station spaces. The applicant submitted this project on December 19, 2019, and we issued an incomplete letter on January 16, 2020, requesting revisions to the project. The revised plans were received on March 23rd, as the project was found to meet or exceed all development standards of the General Commercial Zone District. Project was moved on to the Planning Commission for review and approval. And on page 2 of the staff report, you see the table for the General Commercial Zone Development Standards and how the project complies with each of those. This project being somewhat of a reconstruction, CEQA provides section 15302B of the CEQA guidelines for replacement or reconstruction to make this project exempt from further CEQA review. With that concludes my presentation. I do have a member of the public, which is actually one of the property owners that received a notice that would like to speak during the public hearing portion.
Are we able to have them call in or?
I'll call him if there's not any comments from the 5 of you
Any
before we call.
discussion from the other commissioner members?
I have a question. I have a
okay,
question
go
about
ahead,
the electric vehicle plug-ins. Is it non-Tesla or Tesla only? Or both?
It's the level 2. If you see, I'll point you to the condition.
Or GM level 3?
It is part of planning department condition number 2. What it is, it's there's what's identified as 3 levels of charging stations. Level 1 is your regular outlet in the wall, takes 12 plus hours to charge. We're requiring the minimum level 2, which is what we added to the code a year or 2 years ago. That's similar to what we have on the side of City Hall. And those aren't overly expensive to get, and it has the universal charge port. What you're referring to, the Teslas, those are what are considered the level 3, the 440, 480 volt.
Well, even GM and Ford has level 3 DC quick charge.
Are they universal plugs or unique
Yes.
to GMs?
No.
Okay. That was part of the reason 2 or so years ago when we adopted it, is majority of the level 3s were not universal ports, plus the infrastructure for tying it to the electrical grid to provide it is quite costly. And the level 2s can charge at 80% in about 3 hours. So it would be a top off if anybody stopped by for the market or
Yeah.
anything like that. So the 2 handles our vehicles, our city vehicles, pretty well. So it, and the applicant was okay with it from the beginning. They never really fought anything about it.
Okay, so no level 3 DC quick charge, but what about Tesla?
It's non-branded. Tesla type stuff is usually individual projects, and
Right.
that's actually, I believe that's happening in combination between Caltrans, the county, and various private property owners that are looking to take advantage of whatever that gets them to have a site like that. So, plus it would be more along the highways like you find at Tahone Ranch.
So did they not want a level 3 DC quick charge, or were they not offered?
Wasn't offered it. I made them aware when they called more than a year ago, before they made the submittal late last year, because they had called, not to go into the whole story of it, but 3+ years ago, I think, is when they first investigated about this I didn't know that they were serious about it, but when they called back last summer, they were double checking on what the development standards are, and I reminded them that we updated the service station section of our code, which included these level 2 minimums.
If I remember correctly, the jump from level 2 to level 3 was not just a small jump. It was like on the order from like 10 grand to 80 grand or something
Right.
like that.
And the key thing is, I believe it's more on the infrastructure sides, how it ties in. I'm not as well versed with what level of like individual transformer just those chargers go to, and it's not even tied to what powers the building or the canopy and gas pumps and all that. But it's definitely more extensive than a level 2 that would service the majority of people.
Yeah, a level 3 DC quick charge cannot be put at your home.
Right.
Yeah.
It would take up about a city block of power.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's big at dealership locations, individual sites like you see at Tone Ranch, and they're starting to become more and more. I'm getting word from other fellow planners where Tesla is seeking out sites, ideal sites for setting up those 8, 10 charging stations as a standalone.
Any other comments?
Yeah.
Okay, Liz, we'll go ahead and engage the citizen.
You have to open the public hearing. Open the public hearing.
Oh, we have to reopen the public hearing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, hi, this is Frank.
Hi, Frank. It's Mark Staples.
Yes.
So if you have any comment on the project, go ahead and share that with the commissioners.
Oh, no, I'm totally ignorant, and that is part of the reason why I was planning to attend the meeting. Wasn't aware that it would not be possible. But no, as you know, I own the properties directly across the street, the vacant building. And so I'm interested in the procedures being submitted and applied for and followed for this particular demolition project.
Yeah, so the project is the demolition of the existing building and canopies, and then building a new 7-Eleven market more on the south side of the property where it's just that open asphalt area. And then the gas station area would increase from 2 pumps to 12 pumps. So it's going to fill up the entire site.
Right, so the pumps would be closer to the street.
It would go in an east-west direction from the existing gas station pumps to the existing building where the market building's going to the south end of the property near the shops that are off of 6th Street.
Right, okay. And when is this project slated for?
I'm not sure about a timeline, but they have 1 year to get their building permit application in.
I see. And being that it's a CUP, will you be holding any public hearings on this, or how is that process going to be handled?
This is the public hearing. Frank?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to understand how a public hearing is close to the public. Assuming that the actual building permit isn't applied for, let's say, 3 or 4 months, and by that time, hopefully we'll return to normal, will there be an opportunity for a public hearing then?
No, once it's approved by this planning commission, that approval is good, like I said, for 1 year from today's date.
Okay, and so your meeting today is for the purpose of approving? Staff report has already been provided?
Correct.
I see. Is that that information available to the public then?
Yes, the agenda I mentioned earlier is on the city website with all of the staff report and plans.
Oh, okay. And then you'll be providing a copy of the minutes of the meeting this afternoon? Or if I ask for them, they'll be available?
The minutes are approved the next meeting that we hold, which would be in June.
See.
Yeah,
So
I
after the
told them that.
June meeting is when the approved minutes of this meeting would be available again on the website, or do I ask for them specifically?
Well, now that I have your info and your email, once we have a copy that can be emailed off, I can shoot that off to you if you would.
Oh, okay.
Can
Yeah,
ask you a
yes, I would
question?
appreciate that, and I appreciate the opportunity to offer my comment at this point. So I'll just let you go with your meeting, and then I'll wait to receive whatever is produced after the June meeting.
Do you have any comments or questions of commissioners for the decision they're about to make?
Well, I mean, it'd be presumptuous for me to make any comments. I haven't heard anything, so all I would say is good luck. I mean, how can I comment on something I'm completely blind at? I mean, I don't know exactly. I haven't seen the application. I haven't seen any documentation pertaining to this application, conditional use permit. And I am familiar with those because from time to time, I am involved with those in Bakersfield. So I know to a certain extent the process, which is not some sort of over-the-counter thing. So I mean, I don't have any comments or questions. I really can't. I don't know that they would be appropriate without having any background information. But thanks for the opportunity. I wish I could.
I'll leave it to the chair to see, Susan and Shannon have asked a
Okay.
question.
Shannon?
Yeah, I just have two quick questions. One, what is his proximity to the building itself?
Not
And
very
when was the notification actually issued that went out to property owners in that area?
So he mentioned, I understand it's difficult to hear, he is the owner of the white building across 6th Street from the 7-Eleven store. The white building's right along the,
Where the ice house is?
Along Sandy
Yeah.
Ice
Creek?
house?
yes.
The ice house?
He owns that property.
No,
Okay.
no, not the ice house.
Yes.
It's the one on, it
Or
is-
no, the one along the creek.
it's the one on Finley that backs up to Sandy Creek
It's an old machine shop.
that used to have a Donahue's chicken in it 30
Okay.
years ago. Am I
Basically
right?
northwest of
On
this site.
Finley?
No,
No,
not
on
on
6th.
Finley, across 6th Street. The
It'll
white,
be the corner.
Oh,
On the
okay.
corner
Next door,
there.
It was the machine shop
Yeah,
and welding.
right.
Yeah, the machine shop. I worked there as a
Okay.
kid.
Yeah.
and then
Baker
the
Creek.
notices were sent 10 days out before the meeting. He has the notice. It's, in hindsight, the notice is the original language of people can come in person and
Right.
ask, but we've made the modifications per the state law to minimize the contact as all cities have.
So quick question, what is his concern or issue with the project itself? I didn't hear that. Was there?
Frank, is there any
a concern?
issue that comes to mind? I know you haven't seen the plans, but the gas station, a new 7-Eleven store, was there anything that,
No, Mark, no, actually, I'm really not here to subvert the application. I would be really in favor. I mean, it's something that enhances that particular area and ultimately would, to a certain extent, benefit me also. But, being a property owner, I just don't want to be, an ignorant one. I'd like to know as much as possible. Being within that 300-foot radius. So that was the reason why I drove out here to become more informed. But no, I assume that it's being done, with the proper procedures, and I don't have any, I don't have any specific concerns. I just wanted to familiarize myself with the process that this application is being handled, so that I would be familiar with it as well.
okay, I believe we have a second question?
No, that was my question.
Okay. So I think it was just they were wanting clarification of which property he owned, so.
I think you've explained it. I mean, do they still have concerns or still have uncertainty as to which property it is?
No, I believe they
We
all
know who
understand
you are.
which one you own.
Okay. Okay. So I guess I'll just leave you to the meeting. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, albeit via phone, and I guess I can contact you sometimes after this or before the minutes come out, and if I have any questions, I'll ask you then.
Okay,
Well, thanks again.
all right,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you.
Bye.
Okay, at this time, we'll close the public comments. All right. Any discussion that we need to have? Any additional input? I would like to know, I couldn't hear where he is from. I understand he owns that property, but is he a local resident or is he from out of
I
town?
believe he's Bakersfield.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I would think that the pumps look like, according to this, that they look like they're further away from the street than what they were.
Yes, yeah, it probably is to allow, the site plan shows.
Good.
Where the tanks and the filling, locations are, so it probably helps with, the trucks,
Right.
that, supply the fuel to maneuver through. The driveways appear to be sufficient for what they need, they're not even touching that, it's all pretty much a demo of the entire site, except for the corner, they're gonna keep the monument they have with the prices on it.
Right.
But the rest of it's being reorganized into a, template format for 7-Eleven stores.
I
think
looked
it
at it
looks
like, I
great.
think they're relocating the southernmost driveway entrance off Sixth.
No, it's pretty much, or they could be closing one up.
It says driveway to be modified, it doesn't say how.
Probably make it
No,
a little
it's-
wider.
No, there's just the one that's closer to the corner. Just that the south side of the site is relatively unused right now.
Just talking about what the actual plan says. For the existing right in and out movement driveway to be modified.
It just looks like it's being narrowed, so they would get a encroachment permit through our Public Works Department to shrink that down. It's
Okay.
going from 40 feet to 28. But it's generally the same location.
Right, and it looks like better traffic flow for the other two entrances and exits, to be honest.
Yeah, there is the shared driveway as well, that's shared with the Pilot Plaza, the old Goodyear shop at the yogurt shop that was there. So there's a little bit of a shared,
This
Drive aisle access.
other part of the building used to be a Chief Auto Parts, is that
Correct.
recall?
Right.
Okay. And it's been vacant now for a dozen years easily.
and 7-Eleven has owned the property the entire
Right.
time.
So, there used to be Southland Corporation.
That's their land ownership company name.
All right.
It looks like it's designed to where the trucks bringing delivery into 7-Eleven will be able to come in without any problem as well. Looks pretty good.
The only question I had, Mark, is where do they intend to take deliveries? Are they gonna park on the street and deliver across the sidewalk, or are they gonna park in front of the trash enclosure and unload?
Probably there along the eastern property line.
Yeah,
The
okay.
available space allows for maneuvering like that.
All right. Are these the same guys that are doing the one over on Union Avenue in Bakersfield, do you know?
I am not aware of that. They have not brought that up in their review.
Okay. Well, when they redo them, they look real nice. It's a real asset.
It looks like they're putting in a really nice drought tolerant plan too, as far as the landscaping, which is a whole lot better than what that place looks like right now.
Yes, all the, even though we haven't formally adopted the updated landscape standards from the state, the architects are required to follow that. And part of the plan check includes them providing their certification that it's following those guidelines.
Well, the choice of plants looks great.
They do.
Pretty much on commercial projects, it's a very small percentage of any kind of turf, if any at all.
Yeah, well, there's really not a lot of need for it or
Right.
something like that.
Substantially xeriscape
Correct.
plants.
given the location of part of this, I don't think you want a really comfortable place to.
Okay. So it's time to entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt a resolution, entitled, "A Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Taft approving site plan review number 2019-24 and conditional use permit number 2019-25 to demolish an existing 6,308 square foot commercial building and a 2-pump gas station canopy, and to construct a 4,088 square foot 7-Eleven retail store and 12-pump gas station canopy located on a 1.03 acre lot in the general commercial zone district located at 11246 6th Street."
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded.
To read the whole thing.
You won't.
Would you like a roll call vote on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Latham,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Banner,
Yes.
Vice Chair Livingston,
Yes.
and Chairman Norris.
Yes. Thank you. That moves us to item 5. Mr. Staples again, Planning Director report.
Thank you, Chairman Orrin. I'll keep it brief, mostly related to the COVID closure stuff with City Hall. There's nothing really new to add. It's just, as you noticed, the Kern County Public Health Officer has pulled back their restrictions, but have advised everybody to still follow the state restrictions. So I just want to advise everybody, please keep following whatever restrictions are still out there, whether it's at the county level or the state level. But it looks like things will start loosening up soon. Just stay diligent and kind of keep following what was as a restriction, but while you're out and in the stores that we're going to be able to access, hopefully in the coming weeks. Don't know how it's going to affect our next Planning Commission meeting. Just for now, assume we'll be in this same format for the June meeting. And unless otherwise notified, you'll notice it on the agenda, whether that intro notice at the top of the first page is still there. And our clerk and recording secretary will notify you as well. So that will be it for my planning director's report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Staples. Mr. Epperson.
Thank you. No report, no statement.
Well, we appreciate that, Mr. Epperson. Thank you. All right, Commissioner comments?
I have a few.
Well, we don't want to hear yours right now. Is there anyone else who wants to comment before Shannon takes the floor?
Let me think about it. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I think I'm fine.
I have one question for you, Shannon.
Uh-huh.
4th of July fireworks?
No comment.
No comment, okay.
Okay. Is that all you had for me?
That's all?
Okay. So I want to give just a few updates as far as stuff that's going on at the Chamber. Obviously, the Chamber prides ourselves on taking all of the members and organizations in our community that are Chamber members and helping to promote their activities and their events. We all know that all of them have been canceled or postponed for later times. And so as soon as we have more information and things are able to open back up and people have rescheduled certain things that maybe they've postponed, we will do our best to be able to update you on that as well. We've been highlighting some of the businesses that are still open to, encouraging everybody to shop local as much as you possibly can, because these small businesses are the ones that, they run our families and they run our community. So we encourage you to reach out and make sure that you shop them as much as you can at this time. We are going to start doing virtual sit and sips, which is going to be kind of a Zoom session type thing that we're going to set up and just see how it goes and see who comes. And we're encouraging, if people have questions that they can't find answers to, or they just want somebody to chat with for a little bit that maybe isn't their family, to log on. It's going to be 9 a.m. on Wednesdays. So we're going to get all that set up probably on Friday to be able to determine the login and everything. So we encourage anybody who wants to come and pop in and say hi. We are also going to probably be doing a virtual happy hour on Thursdays at 5, kind of a way to just say we made it through another week. So if you want to just check out our Facebook page, we'll have the updates on that as well. And if you don't get our emails and want to get them, you can send us an email at taftchamber@gmail.com, and I will get you added to our weekly email list that comes out on Tuesdays.
that does have information about, everything's rapidly changing. So we're trying to provide what we can to not only our residents but also our businesses. And one final thing, I wanted to say congratulations to Susan Banner for receiving the Seroptimus Woman of the Year.
Thank you. It was quite an honor.
Congratulations.
Quite an honor. Thank you.
So well
Good
deserved.
for you, Susan.
Yeah. So that's all that I have. So.
Thank you, Shannon. You mentioned a virtual sit and sip, and you're featuring a business per week?
No, every day. There's multiple businesses every day. So.
How do we know who that business of the day is?
It's on our Facebook page. If you
Okay.
join the facebook.com/taft.chamber, I believe, is our page. You can go like our page and then just see all the different posts of. We're trying to highlight, as I said, we started doing virtual lunches, encouraging people to go to the restaurants that we're still doing curbside takeout. And then it's like, well, we've got other chamber businesses that are members that are still open and operational as well. So we've tried to get those in. If you have any other recommendations or suggestions that we can add to that, one of the benefits of being a chamber member is that you get some additional support through our newsletter and through our Facebook. So that's the caveat. So if you want to join, we'll get you signed up.
I'd like to echo your comment about shopping local. I know that several of the businesses on Center Street, this closure has decimated them. And I'm looking forward to them reopening. I spoke with Rudolfo at the Same Place Cafe, and he's very anxious to open, but he's apprehensive about the future. So if we can go and support these folks, I encourage all of us to do that. That's the comments I have, other than we need to remain safe, be mindful of one another, and thank Jerry for going to the next council meeting for us in advance of his accepting.
That regarding that, pretty much all the department reports and including commissioner reports are off the agenda until all of us are able to attend the meeting.
I
Okay,
was going to say, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Everybody else volunteered for that one.
maybe that's the one I should take this year.
I would just be prepared for maybe reporting on June 2nd, just in case that's maybe a first meeting when doors are back open to folks.
Okay. That concludes our regular items, with the exception of
Adjournment. I
a
move we
request
adjourn.
for adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Move to
Second.
adjourn, seconded, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Bye.
None opposed, carries on a 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.